So when you open up the peritoneal cavity, this layer of serosa is the parietal peritoneum. What covers the organs is the visceral peritoneum. The kidney is retroperitoneal. So when you look actually on this side of mine, you can see this is the parietal peritoneum, and you can see that it's not on the dorsal side of the kidney. The kidney only has it on one part, so the kidney is retroperitoneal. And then when you go, this is the spleen here. And then for the lobes of the liver is all right here. And we'll go towards the caudate lobe, which is on the right side. But this lobe is the left lateral lobe of the liver. Then you have the left medial lobe of the liver, the quadrate lobe that has the gallbladder. Then you have the right medial lobe. It's usually kind of big, and then from there you have the right lateral lobe, the caudate lobe with the right kidney. You saw the other left kidney on the other side. And then between the caudate lobe and the right kidney, you have the hepatorenal ligament, and it's a mesentery. And then so you came through, the esophagus comes through the diaphragm and goes to the stomach. Whenever you're looking at the stomach, which is right here, the more cranial part of the stomach that comes right after the esophagus is the cardiac region. The curving part right here is the fundus. The bulk of it is the gastric body. And then this is the pyloric region. And then when you look inside, you can see the gastric folds. And then the pyloric sphincter is in the pyloric region here, and it's really muscular. The omentum, or the mesentery, that's in the lesser curvature of the stomach is the lesser omentum, and it's here, and it goes from the lesser curvature to the liver. This is the greater omentum, and it's on the greater curvature of the stomach. It has two sheets, the ventral sheet and then the dorsal sheet. And then the space between the two sheets, so like if you stuck your probe between them, the space between would be the lesser peritoneal cavity. And then if you kept sticking your probe through, and when it came out this other end right under here, you would have a hole kind of where the caudate lobe is, and that hole is the epiploic foramen. And that's more definitional. And then, so you follow the stomach, and you go to the right side of the cat, kind of near where the caudate lobe and the kidney were. And the first little curve that you have of the small intestine is the duodenum. Inside of the duodenum, or in the mesentery of the duodenum, you have the head of the pancreas. And the tail keeps going underneath here towards the spleen. This mesentery on the duodenum is the mesoduodenum. And then you follow the duodenum and you get this big bundle, and that is the jejunum-ileum. The more cranial part of it is the jejunum, and the caudal part is the ileum. And then so this end right here would be the ileum of the small intestine, and it goes to the cecum, which is right here, which is the blind end of the large intestine. So if the cat had an appendix, it would be off of here. The rabbit has it, and its appendix is off of here. This is the ascending colon. So the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and then the descending colon, which goes to the rectum, and then it comes out of the anus. And for the urinary system, it goes to the kidneys and down, and then the urinary bladder is here. The median vesicle ligament is here. If the end is rounded, like it is here, you call it the round ligament of the urinary bladder. The lateral vesicle ligaments are embedded in this fat, and they suspend the lateral sides of it. And then another example of a ventral mesentery is the falciform ligament, which is here. And if it's rounded, the rounded edge is the round ligament of the liver. And then the coronary ligament is very thin, and it's between the liver and the diaphragm. And if the mesentery, the greater omentum, surrounds the intestines completely, it's called an omental bursa. That's just another word for it draping over. And then the other mesenteries, like the hepatoleanic, is between the stomach and the spleen. So it's here, just between the stomach and the spleen. It's more definitional. Here. And then the gastrocolic ligament is between the stomach and the colon, which is here. So it's harder to see, but it's just between the stomach and the colon, and it's also more definitional. And then for the cystic duct, just know that it drains the gallbladder, and then the common bile duct empties into the duodenum, and so they are here. And then the cystic duct just drains the gallbladder. And just know that the villi are the finger-like projections that are in the small intestine. And the mesocolon is what suspends the large intestine. So, like if you look over here, the mesentery that suspends the large intestine is the mesocolon. The mesentery with the word "the" in front of it suspends the small intestine. And that is it.